Hi, my name is Bill, and before I tell you today's Bible story, I want to play a game with you. Now, I'm thinking of the name of a book, and I want to see if you can guess the name of it too. So I'm going to give you a couple of clues. Are you ready? All right, here we go. This book is filled with hundreds of really exciting stories. Some of the stories are about kings and queens and princesses. Some of the stories are about fishermen. And there's even a story in this book about a really big giant. Do you know the book I'm talking about? Well, if you guessed the Bible, you're right. The Bible is full of all these kinds of stories. But it's not just a storybook. This book helps us to understand how much God loves you and I. It also talks about Jesus, and those of us who are friends of Jesus will be able to live with him in heaven forever and ever. Now, unfortunately, not everybody in the world knows about the Bible, and there's even people in the world that don't know about God or Jesus. Well, in the Bible, there are two very important men. Their names are Paul and Timothy, and we're going to find out what they did to help change that. Well, a long time ago, there was a man whose name was Timothy. And when Timothy was just a little boy, he used to love to sit at the foot of his grandmother while grandmother read from the Bible. And Timothy would listen to every word that she said. And when he got older, he wanted to share those stories with others. Well, that's when he met a man whose name was Paul. Now, Paul had been doing this for a long time. And when Paul met Timothy, he said, "Timothy, I have an idea. Why don't you and I team up together? And we'll share the love of Jesus with anybody who'll listen." And Timothy said, "Wow, I've got so many stories to tell. I would love to do that with you." So Paul and Timothy went from place to place to place, sharing God with anybody that would listen. Well, this went on for many years. And one day Paul came to Timothy and said, "You know, God would like me to share about him in other lands, places far, far away. But there's still cities here where people don't know about God. Why don't you stay here and teach those people, and I'll go overseas and teach people in other lands about God's love?" Well, Timothy was going to miss his friend Paul, but he knew that God had work for him right here in the city that he was living in. So he said goodbye to his friend, and Timothy continued to share God's love with all who would listen. You know, we talk an awful lot about Jesus in Sunday school, but God doesn't want us to keep Jesus a secret. Just like Paul and Timothy went out and told everybody about God's love, Jesus wants you and I to do the same. We can tell our family and our friends and our neighbors. We can invite them to Sunday school, or you can even invite your friends to listen to these stories that we do online on the internet. Who can you tell about Jesus this week? Be thinking about that, and I'll see you soon for another True Bible Story. Until then, bye-bye.